Uh, we know how to make factors given the zeros, right? Pretty easy. Just use opposite the sign, right? So I had zeros of 2, 1, and 4. My factors are going to be x minus 2, x minus 1, and x minus 4. Now, be careful, okay? One thing I want to point out here: if I have zeros of say 3 multiplicity of 2 or 4, how about 3 multiplicity of 3, and then the other zero is a 4? Okay, that 3 multiplicity of 3 would be x minus 3, x minus 3, x minus 3, and then x minus 4. Okay, just I'm giving you a little example because I think on your homework sheet there's a problem like this. The last thing I should have covered this with. Yes, I don't know why. Well, we know the fact how to make the factor out of the 8, right? It's x minus 8, but we got this I thing, right? So I have x, and you would think minus I, and you would be done. No, you're not done because i's complex conjugates, right? So if I have I, don't forget you're going to have a negative I. And if you can remember from last semester about imaginary numbers, there's a reason behind that. If you want me to go through it for the next half hour, I could do it. Or you could just take my word for it. So if I have 3i, I also have the 0, negative 3i. If I have, say I have 4 plus I, my conjugate, my other 0 would be 4 minus I. Okay. So don't forget that when you're figuring out factors and you have an I term, don't forget it's got a conjugate. Okay. Um, what else we got? Did we finish your worksheet then? I gotta. Okay, let's on your practice worksheet. Let's go ahead and go through the problems. All right. All right. Number two. It said find all the zeros. You guys were supposed to find the zeros. This one's pretty easy, right? I have a negative 13, a positive 1, but don't forget that's squared, so my positive 1 is multiplicity of 2, right? All right, number 4. What? No, you're not copying this down. You're checking your answers because this is your homework, right? Oh, okay. And if you didn't get that, that was sarcasm. Never mind. All right, number 4. They give us two zeros, right? Okay, so my coefficients, 1 of the dividend is 1, negative 8, positive 5, positive 50, and what's my constant? And I'll use the first divisor 0. That should be pretty easy, actually. Okay, bring down my 1. Oh, am I recording? Yep, I am. Bring down my 1, multiply by 0, 0, negative 8 plus 0, negative 8. By the way, what are all of my numbers going to be here? Okay, 5 plus 0 is 5, 50, 0. So I started with x to the fourth. This is 1x cubed minus 8x squared plus 5x plus 50. So I got to do this again to get it to a quadratic so I can factor it. We know how to factor quadratics, right? Coefficient of x cubed, 1. Coefficient of x squared, -8. Coefficient of x to the first, 5. And my constant, 50.
Oh, we don't have to zero with it.
No, because this I have a constant here. So I don't need a 0. All right, so I'm going to use the second 0, -2. Okay, bring down the 1. 1 times -2, -2, -8 plus -2, -10 times -2, +20. Ooh, I see where this is going. 5 plus 20,
Or five.
25 times -2, -50. -50 plus 50 is,
Zero.
okay, I started with a cube, so I'm down to an x squared minus 10x plus 25.
And you, what's the term again?
Factor it, right?
Fact. Yep.
And the easiest way to factor something is by guess and check, right? I always try that first. So only one way to get x squared is x times x. Factors of 25. 1 times 25. 5 times 5. The sign's a positive, so I'm going to be multiplying positive, positive, or negative, negative, which means since it's the same sign, I'm going to add the factors, and they have to add up to 10. Yep, and we need the negative signs. -5, -5. So set each one of those equal to 0. So my zeros are going to be 5. So I have x equals 0, x equals -2, and 5 with a multiplicity of 2. Is that what you got, Thomas?
Yeah.
Cool. How about the back?
Nope.
Oh, we didn't. I didn't assign the back, did I?
Nope.
Do you need me to go do a couple examples? These are really easy.
Yes.
Now you know how to do i's, right? They're giving you 2 zeros. So what are my other 2 zeros here? -I and -2i, right? And how about this one?
Positive I, negative I.
Yeah, this time they want you to put it in factors, right? So I need my x.
Oh, I thought you were talking about eight different.
No, you could do 8. X minus 3, x minus 5, and x plus I. And don't forget, you need the other one, right? Are we good? Can you finish the rest of this worksheet? And guess what? I made a new worksheet for you guys. Aren't you excited? I don't know about you guys.
So we need
Okay. If they don't give you zeros, what am I going to have to do?
factor.
Yeah, we probably could factor this. It might be a little hard, but if we don't, if they don't give us a zero, what are we going to have to do? I'll give you a hint. Yeah, we're going to have to find one on the calculator, right? So let's go to our y equals. Put in our polynomial. Let's see x cubed. Can you guys even see that? X cubed plus 6x squared plus 10x. Graph it, and hopefully we can see a zero. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can. That's an easy one. We got a zero. We have an x equals zero, right? In fact, I can deduct here that this only has how many real solutions? How many? One. I just gave it away. It has one real zero, right?
There's a lot of talking
Right.
going on. I think I saw an airplane.
Really, guys? Come on. All right, so let's do a synthetic division with the real zero here. Coefficient of x cubed, 1. Coefficient of x squared is 6. Coefficient of x to the first is 10, and my constant is 0. In fact, I think all the constants are 0 on this worksheet. Nope, nope, I lied. We're going to divide it by, we have a real number here, 0. Going to bring down the 1.
And they're all good.
Huh?
They're all going to be 0.
Yep, they're all going to be 0, right? Add them together. So it's 6, 10, and 0. So this brings me down to a quadratic, right?
So x2
Good.
plus 10 equals 0 and we should factor.
Can we factor that?
Yep. I think so.
I don't think we can we? It doesn't have real solutions. Remember my graph. See how it only crosses the x-axis once? So I know that my other two zeros are going to be imaginary, right? So I'm going to have to use our favorite ultimate all-time way of factoring.
No.
X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all divided by a. Okay, what's my a? A is 1, b is 6, c is 10. So x equals negative 6 plus or minus square root of 6 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a is 1. Oh boy, is this fun. Gave you a fun one right off the bat.
Design this type of mathematics.
Who did this? Who did the quadratic formula?
I don't know, some Greek
Can't
mathematician
remember.
or something.
Was it? I'll have to look that up. That's a good question.
Some with big brain.
Actually, it was more It was a lot of these formulas they invented by patterns, and they had to prove the patterns.
Mohammed bin Musa al-Khwarizmi.
Holy cow!
Not a mathematician I'm very familiar with.
Yeah, me neither.
Named their children like that.
In 825.
Really, that early, huh?
That's what it says.
Oh. Okay, so I get the square root of 6 squared is 36 minus 40. So the square root of negative 4. So there's our imaginary one, right, with the square root of negative 1. Square root of 4, which equals 2i. So I'm going to take that 2i and replace that whole square root, right? So I have x equals negative 6 plus or minus 2i all over 2. Now, I'll be happy with that, but you could simplify this a little farther, right? There's a factor of 2 in every term. 2 goes into negative 6, negative 3 times. 2 goes into 2 once. And that's it. So, my zeros, 0. If you want to write them out, that's fine, or you can leave them as negative 3 plus or minus I. And what I mean by write them out, you could have negative 3 plus I and negative 3 minus I, whichever way you want. Like I said, I like breaking them up so that I know that it shows me that I got all 3 of them. Boy, that was a fun one. Good pick, Mr. D. Should we do some more fun with the fundamentals? Fun with the fundamental. Fundamentally fun. Let's see if I gave. I'm pretty sure I gave you just as much fun problems. Maybe not. Maybe I took them off at the last minute. Ooh. Number 3 looks really fun. Ooh. I'll let you have it, though. All right, that's the last one I'm going to do. So, work on this worksheet.